I'm back again. Today is more of kind of a talking thing, but I got a topic that may pique the interest of a few people. And yeah, so first I'm gonna start off by saying I'm out and about right now. I had something going on this morning, and then I met up with Sean. We actually went over to Kmart because our Kmart is closing down. Just like Herberger's, ridiculous. They've marked up most of their stuff, and their sale prices, which are like 30% on average, are actually running the average retail price at every other store in the area. So that is ridiculous. So the prices just made it completely not worth even bothering. And then we decided it was almost noon, so we came and ate lunch together, which, for those who haven't caught on to some of the recipes, I've started Weight Watchers, which is actually what I was doing this morning, but that's beside the point. And we went to Qdoba. I absolutely, this is a side note, anybody who has done Weight Watchers in the past or anything like that, their new app is actually pretty awesome. So it was really easy to look up every single item and figure out what, sorry, there's people driving by noticing the license plate because we have custom plates. Anyhow, I get a kick out of it. So it was really easy to eat lunch. So now I'm gonna fast forward and say, trying to figure out what I want to go do after I left him, because kids were in a mood when I left, and I'm just not in a hurry to get back just yet, but I kind of need to. And it reminded me of a topic I've thought of lately: large families and friends. Okay, so sitting at the train, and this guy hoisted his backpack, made sure it was on both shoulders, and once he started to reach out, but I think he's contemplating hopping the train. Well, he's not doing anything else at the moment. The end is getting closer, so maybe he's gonna be smart. Every time I say that, he like, oh, he's being an idiot and trying to touch the moving train. That's why he was reaching his hand out. Still incredibly stupid, but at least he's not jumping on. Okay, I know the video just kind of cut off there, and at the moment, until I edit this, I can't even remember exactly what I was saying. In our area, there is a decent size, especially for the size of the population, there's a decent sized homeless community and just vagrants in general. And it is not uncommon for them to go through parking lots, and one of two things: either they are randomly checking doors to see if anybody left them unlocked, or if they see somebody sitting in the car, they will come over, and I don't want to say harass you, but in a sense, yes. Start knocking on your window, asking for money, asking for rides, trying to climb in your car. Years ago even, There was a section of town that if you drove through, like, I knew your doors had to be locked when you drove through it. Not for like a danger you would think, but because I actually watched people who were wandering walk up to cars that were stopped at stoplights and attempt to get in. It's just something that weirdly happened. And so I always kept my doors locked. And I haven't heard any stories of that happening lately, so maybe that area of town has been changed just enough. I don't know. And yeah, so anyhow, the day is going on, and what I was going to talk about that has taken me forever to get to is large families and friends. If you are a large family, you'll be able to relate with this. If you are friends with a large family, you might see this. It might ring some bells and make you aware of something. And if you are not a large family and don't have a large family, don't know a large family, yada yada, maybe it's just some insight still. So, on average, large families, I would say, have fewer friends. We have seen that over the years as our family grew, that friends started to drift away and had other interests. You start to learn who your true friends are, and it's not always who you think it's going to be. Weirdly enough, too, several years ago, we were friends with another large family, got together regularly, loved it. We helped them out in a situation, and we were more than happy to do it, loved doing it, loved spending time with them. And then after a little while, she told me one day that they would love to invite us over, but she wanted just us to come with no kids. Or a similar situation was being told that, they'd love to invite us over, there just wasn't room. And okay, large families take up room, but what she ended up telling me was that there were too many of us, and she couldn't handle that many people in her space. They also didn't like to come to our house because they thought it was too far of a drive. Now, mind you, it was the same amount of drive for us, but whatever. And they were usually having gatherings. So it became we want to invite you, but we can't. Or everybody else is going to have their kids here, but I don't want you to bring your kids. And she flat out told me that she prefers families with just like 2 or so kids because she can manage that in her space. Okay. Honestly, it was her choice. Their choice. Whatever. But that is what we've run into. And I get it, and I've told several people this. There's a lot of us. I understand it's overwhelming for a lot of people who are not used to it. Our kids, and I'm not bragging here, but our kids are pretty darn well behaved. And I'm not too worried about that being an issue. It's really just the number of us. So that was that. Nothing I could do about it. Friends, that's just the way it works. So either people enjoy it or they don't. Birthday parties, we get invited to less birthday parties on average. I've had some people tell us that they wanted to invite us, but they couldn't because they just didn't have enough room for that many people. And I've had to stress to people, and I don't know why this is a problem, because I see people doing this with smaller families all the time, only inviting the kids in the right age range. It's really not a big deal. So I have to tell several people that it's okay to invite just those kids. You do not have to invite everybody. We enjoy the company and the time out if we all go, but we're not going to put that on anybody else. And yeah, we love having people over. And that's part of the reason we love having people over, is because we also get it. Not everybody wants us in their space. Whatever. It's fine. So that's really just my rant at the end of this, is large families and friends, is just being aware that it may seem overwhelming to you, but give it a chance before you start excluding people. Because that's another thing too, is we tell others on a regular basis that it's fine, we get it, no worries. It's actually one of my favorite statements, is no worries. And what that actually translates to is, wow, that kind of hurts, but there's nothing I can do about it, so move on. And it really is what it is. And we will never fault anybody for not inviting us, but know that people notice when they're excluded from things. There have even been more public activities with groups that I found we were kind of excluded from, and I see other families being excluded from because so many kids. And you know, the truth is, okay, homeschooling, field trips and things, guess what? Us and one other big family, we could probably fill all the slots. So I get why that might frustrate some people too, but guess what? It's either that or we don't get to do any field trips. So I get it, but I'm not going to feel bad about it. And I'm not going to feel bad about the fact that there's more of us standing in line when we go somewhere. So the next time you're in line behind a large family, don't roll your eyes and huff about how long it's going to take. Because guess what? If 10 different people had come in ahead of you and been standing in line, you'd be waiting just as long, if not longer, as they all check out individually. So don't be huffing at the big families. Again, we see you, we hear you, we know what you're doing, and we choose to ignore you because a lot of us are also trying to instill better values in our kids. So we also do not go on rants about this in front of our kids. We just shrug it off as it's just part of life. This is what people choose to do. And that's just the way it is. So again, there's my rant. This time I promise I'm done. If you have any experiences, I'd actually love to hear about it. Don't forget to leave a comment with that. Any other thoughts on this topic? I could rant all day about this and many other things. So I'm going to stop this video here. And I'm going to go inside because I have a couple other things in store for today. And I will plan on seeing you guys in the next video. So don't forget to subscribe.